A Greater Manchester police pedo faced court this week after being found to have a hoard of thousands of child abuse images that he had downloaded over a 10-year period. Greater Manchester Police PC Thomas Wood's sickening collection was uncovered by his pregnant wife after she looked through his phone, believing that he was having an affair. His wife, who was not named in court, and yes, I know her name is Mrs. Woods, but I mean her first name, and is also a serving police constable, is said to have asked a friend for advice after finding the images. And I think that goes to show the mentality of the plod, if you ask me. I certainly wouldn't be asking for advice from anybody if I found those kind of images. I would be straight to the cop shop to show them without hesitation, regardless to who it is, partner, family member or friend. Wouldn't make a difference to me. But to a copper, they have to ask advice because they are not sure whether to do anything or not. And if that hasn't proved the police mentality, then the fact that Thomas Wood's wife later told the same friend that the images were being used by him to lure predators in as part of a child abuse investigation must certainly prove my point. I mean, I'm not even police, and even I know that police's mobile phones would not be allowed those kind of images on, and only the sexual crimes unit would have ready access to them. But Thomas Woods, his wife, either believed him, which being plod she should have known better, or he managed to get her to try and cover for him. Either way, she too is a bit of a sick bitch if you ask me. In fact, Mrs. Wood's friend, who she asked for advice, went to Greater Manchester Police's Sexual Offences Unit and asked them, but they denied that any investigation was taking place and Woods was subsequently arrested. At the time of the offence, Woods was a serving constable but was suspended, or has been suspended since his arrest, and will now never be allowed to resume his role with Greater Manchester Police as he was found guilty. In total, 2,567 images were found between his two mobile phones and his laptop. 678 of those images were category A and featured children between 3 and 16 years old. Metafile data showed that the images had been downloaded over a time period spanning between 2010 and 2021, with some of the images having been downloaded before he joined the police. At least one of the files was of a woman and a dog. I will say no more about that kind of shit. Woods of Brookdale, New Longton in Preston pleaded guilty to 3 counts of making indecent images, possessing a prohibited image of a child and possessing extreme pornography. The judge, Recorder Anthony O'Donoghue, told defence barrister Richard Brigden that he had decided to follow the recommendations in a pre-sentence report. As a result, Mr. Brigden offered no additional mitigation in Wood's defence. Now, with such a prolific, and I say prolific because of the timescale this behaviour had been going on, the potential lie to or coercion of his wife to tell her friend that it wasn't what she thought it was, you would expect the probation service to identify that this man, if you can call him a man, is a danger to the public, and in the public's interest he should be locked away for a sustained period of time in general population to show him how real criminals deal with his type of criminal behaviour. But alas, we already know he'd never see another Gen Pop inmate if sent to prison, but it's nice to imagine if he did. But no. The probation service had decided that Thomas Woods of Brookdale, New Longton in Preston was a perfect candidate for some rehabilitation at the hands of the rehabilitation organisations that clearly do not actually rehabilitate child sex offenders. No doubt as a little nod to the fact that he was a copper rather than a disgusting regular member of the public like us. And so Recorder Anthony O'Donoghue sentenced Thomas Woods of Brookdale, New Longton, Preston to just 16 months of imprisonment. You guessed it, suspended for 2 years. I mean, even that is less than I got for growing weed, for fuck's sake. Along with his suspended sentence, Woods will have to complete 180 hours of unpaid work and attend 30 rehabilitation activity requirement days. Ooh, 30 rehab days to put an end to more than 10 years of getting himself off over children. Yeah, I can really see that working out. He has also been made subject to a sexual harm prevention order for 5 years and will have to sign the sex offenders register for 10 years. Obviously, a misconduct hearing will now be scheduled and we will pick up on that once we get more information. Fucking suspended sentence. What a fucking cunt.